You know, I think my favourite thing about being a photographer is not using the camera at all. In fact, it's everything leading right up to that exact moment. It's the planning and pre-visualising, it's being humbled by nature, it's being let down, and then it's that elation when everything just finally comes together and you're there to witness it and just be a humbled bystander. It's truly the most rewarding part of being a photographer. And then I guess the image itself, it's our personal expression of whether it's a given place, a given moment, or just that whole experience in general. It's our expression of that. It's our way of maybe sharing that with other people, what we felt and what we saw. It's just, I get goosebumps thinking about it. Where I live here in New Zealand, Fiordland National Park, I'm looking out at the mountains now, and here there's just so much to see and explore. I'm really driven by the unknown. There's that curiosity, and it makes it so exciting for me. So people ask me about scouting places and things like that. So in the video here, we'll do a quick little bit of scouting, and then we're gonna head out into the wilderness. We're gonna get the backpack. Let's get out there, and we're gonna be in the rainforest beneath towering peaks, and hopefully we'll do some nice photography along the way. So I'd love you to join me in this video. Let's take a look now. So I'm running over the topo here, and what I've found, and I love to use Google Earth as well. So I'll be making my way up the valley here, and then I'm particularly looking at this section of beach up over here, and you'll see now, watch when I tilt up here, have a look at the opening on this mountain. Bang. Absolutely epic. We've got a waterfall flowing down in the frame, and then just that angle of the peak. And we've got the flow of the river as it curves around the bend there. There's a beach, and then there's a big grass section as well. Not to mention that the rainforest is right there too. So it'll be a few hours walk to get in here. Let's point the lens up and let's see what we can do with that big, beautiful mountain right there. Just making my way across the valley now, mate, this direction. One of the problems is when you look at this stuff on the map, you really don't know what the terrain's really like. Starting to get quite boggy and swampy, which is kind of typical for Fiordland. So just really taking it easy on where I step. I don't really want to go knee deep into some mud. Aiming to head out this way through past that tree line. It's 7:30 p.m. now. It's summer, so we've got a lot of light. I'm not too fussed on trying to capture sunset out there. Hopefully sunrise, the light will do something nice. Otherwise, it's just good to get out and stretch your legs anyway. Slowly making some ground. Look how tall this bracken fern is. It's been up to the head. Just been trying to navigate through. There's a few deer trails every now and then, and that helps get through some of the harder stuff. But now the goal is to get through the forest. I'm hoping that might actually be easier than here. And that goes for a good, 800 meters. And then finally we might get that view open up. The beauty of the place just keeps you going, keeps you inspired, looking up at those peaks. All the greens and the ferns. It's easy to have motivation once you're out here. More of a mental exercise rather than physical. When this is all you can see, you start to wonder, what are you doing? A little bit of light up ahead, so might be getting to the forest clearing, hopefully, because it's starting to get a little bit more boggy, which is not ideal when it's this dense.
Well, so far so good. The mountain really opens up just spectacular. You can see now there's good separation from the face, now separated from that southern ridge there. So it's quite defined. There's even some waterfalls, cascades up through the center. So that's good. Got through the forest, that's a success. Not too boggy here. Really now, one, I need a place to pitch the tent. Should be a beach down here with some sand, surely. And that's one thing. From a photography perspective, I was really hoping to combine some of the forest with the background there. Wasn't really paying too much attention in there, it was quite dense. And the forest just drops straight off into the river. So I'm just curious what we might find from a photography standpoint as a way to incorporate the background. All right, here's a beach, so that's good. Look at these toys. Beautiful, golden. A little bit tricky to use those because they're so tall. They're cutting up into the background, the subject matter. Oh, look at this paradise. Here we go. Nice big flat beach. No shortage of camping spots. Plenty of firewood around if we want to get a little fire going for ambience. The river's just so beautiful. I'm going to keep wandering around while I've got light and see what we might be able to find to be some subject matter to complement that beautiful background, particularly for the morning. Doesn't do it justice on the GoPro, but man, that is just spectacular. Gotta do it justice. So I've walked around this beach and now the forest starts again where the beach ends. I'm just wondering, I'd just love to combine, you know, some ferns with the river and then the peak in the back. At the moment I've got river, lots of sand, and then straight into the grasses. A little bit tricky. Look at that. Some real interesting stuff here on this beach. Just making my way to that forest there. This is nice, so wow. It's amazing how thick this sand is. Every now and then it's wet and it's like quicksand. All we need is a couple of nice ferns, guys. Can we do it? So the camera is just tucked away in the bag. The light is flat. This is all about the morning. But found this little comp here. So I'm using the phone to actually help do a composition check, just going to the wide angle 0.5 and then using that to get an idea of if this frame will work using my camera at 12mm, because these ferns are really nice. And we've got the peak in the back with the river in the midground there. I'll just show you. So that's, you know, that's quite nice, especially if we just get some nice warm light in the morning. I love the ferns leading to the river. So it's 9:30, believe it or not. Time to pretty much get some sleep. We'll see what the morning brings. I find it easier to get excited about photography and be inspired and actually compose a scene when the light is inspiring and is nice. So obviously this afternoon it was quite flat light, but there's definitely some potential there with those ferns. It would be really nice to use the grasses in an image as well, especially the toys. Just so characteristic of these beaches here. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see what the morning brings. Make a coffee first thing, get up at 5:30. Sunrise is 6, so time to hopefully get a decent sleep. Wow, look at that sunrise. This is what I meant yesterday when I said about being more inspired when the light is actually doing something. This morning we've got this atmosphere, which is, oh, what a gift. Looking down the valley here though, the light and the atmosphere in that direction is really creating some great depth. So I'm going to quickly start off with I've got the mid-range on, the 28 to 75, looking back this direction, and then I'll probably head back along the beach like I did yesterday afternoon and look up to the peak here, and hopefully we still have all that mist. That's just fantastic. What I'm looking for here is still trying to incorporate something close in the frame as well as everything back in the distance there, and that's just going to give a greater sense of depth. So something like the toy here, then everything in the background. Oh, look at the tree layers. Man, it's just, this is the stuff you can't forecast or plan. Oh wow, this direction now, the layering, all that separation that you get from the mist, that is just glorious. Every direction. Need to be back that way for the peak, but this atmosphere is just drawing me in. Ah. All right, let's go grab the wide angle. We'll look back up at those perspectives we were checking out yesterday. I'm just running because the light is obviously really nice on the mountain, and I don't want the temperature to change too much and then we lose all the mist everywhere. Spend a little bit of time trying to use these grasses here, but I think I should go capture the fern now and then work backwards from there. Pretty epic, guys. Just looking for openings like that where you've got the grasses and then the river through the center. There's even light on the water reflecting off the peak. Man. Alright, I got a focus stack here, so I'm so close to that foreground. Sitting around a quarter of a second, so I get a slight streak in the water. Man, love the light out there. Look at that. Woo! So my main consideration, what I'm making sure is I have a nice balanced frame, because I've got this beech tree on the right here as well as the ones on the left. That's great. I don't want to offset it too much and have a large portion of the mountain, you know, the main part of the mountain is where the snow and light is in the center there, the face. If I get that towards the center, then I get a nice even balance of tree either side. If I move left too far, I open up this portion of the mountain range and that becomes distracting. So just closing it in, trying to best utilize our natural frame here, and then obviously the ferns in the foreground. I've been sitting anywhere from 12 mil to 20 mil. Changing the focal length is helping get that framing right, but also do more justice to the mountain when I'm not too wide. So it is a balancing act there as well. What a gift to have this nice frame here, and such a difference from yesterday when there was just no light or atmosphere. If I can't make one of them work, then geez, I might as well give up, because everything there was just sublime. So chucking the camera back in, I've just come out with the little f-stop cube That way the gear is still protected. I've got the mid-range lens in there. And all the grass is very wet, so it's better than just coming in holding the camera only, which is what I normally do. Well, goodbye friends. I feel like I'll probably see those guys again one day. This little spot here. Nope, not there. Pretty keen for a coffee as well, I'm not gonna lie. What a morning. Well, now's the not so fun part. 3 to 4 hours of walking, packing up the tent,